go.
You ready? Perfect. Welcome to Deal Corner, where what are we saying? Where we break down Dubai's property market one deal at a time. See, this is good. It breaks it up, makes them laugh. It's good, isn't it? Blah.
It's good.
Right. So welcome to Deal Corner. I'm George, a secondary sales manager here at LPH, and today I'm joined by Andrii, our off-plan manager. How's things, mate? You good?
Yeah, good. Good morning so far, thanks.
Good. Yeah, welcome to Deal Corner. So here we break down the market deal by deal, and today we're going to be going head by head. Ultimately, we're always asked by buyers what offers better value, the off-plan market, the secondary market. So today we're going to delve in a little bit deeper and see what indeed does offer better value. Is it off-plan or is it secondary? So welcome, mate. Welcome.
Thanks.
So first and foremost, talk to us. How's the off-plan market at the minute? What are you thinking? What are you seeing happen?
Well, it's changing. It's definitely changing. It's not as it used to be in 2022 and 23. You know, back in the days, we could have a lot of new developers joining the market and they could sell out quite quickly, where today they need more time, they need more amenities, they need more explanation so they can be sold to the investors and end users.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition. From the secondary point of view, I think you see it as EMAR come along, they do what they want to do because they can do what they want to do and it doesn't matter and nothing changes.
Yeah.
Whereas I think everyone else is fighting across all of the same market, they're fighting across the same buyers. Who's got the best payment plan? Who's got the best amenities? Who's got the best location? Yeah. That's ultimately what it comes down to, right?
Well, amount of developers has increased significantly. You know, we're talking about top 5 developers. We used to be the Nahil, Emar, Miras, Damak, and Rast. But we have a lot of new developers who came up with really good projects, good locations. However, the price per square foot has gone up a lot. So when we talk about the investors, the amount of margins what they have left is almost nothing. So today, investing off plan, we need to be really careful to pick up really good project, good developer, good location, and think about the end user who actually buy it off us.
Yeah, because all I see in the secondary market is people come to me with these units which they have, which they bought off plan, which their off plan advisor said, yeah, buy this, you pay 30%, you get the NOC and you flip it. Yeah. But little do they know, they are one person that bought exactly the same 2-bedroom that 1995, 100 people also bought and had exactly the same idea. Absolutely. So if you're going to sell it on the resale market, ultimately the first one that's going to sell is the one that goes the lowest.
Yeah. Well, again, see, the problem what investors make today, right? They trust agents who are not professional. They never checked if the agent is actually licensed. They never checked the radar cards. They don't know the history of the agent. I mean, today the agencies are just hiring people from the street and with zero education, with zero training, they put them out there, call, sell, pitch the project without actually giving the value. So that's the problem with the off-plan today.
Yeah, no plan.
No plan, exactly, yeah.
And then, so as an off-plan agent, how do you view, it'd be interesting to know, how do you view the secondary market at the minute? Yeah. What do you think in terms of the trends that you're seeing from the outside in? Obviously, you still work in the secondary market as well, but what do you think?
You know, going to the details, I don't think there's actually a split between the agent secondary market or off-plan.
No.
You still do sell secondary if you're working off-plan, and you still sell off-plan when you work in secondary. So you need to understand the both ways, right? Because eventually every off-plan will become secondary market. You need to know who bought off you, because if you're with an investor from the day one, you need to make sure that you can flip them or you can rent it out in the future. So you need to predict the future compared to the secondary market in the area, price per square foot, the ROI. You need to look into as well, amount of unit mix, you know, in the building. We need to understand the developer history, right? The reason why MR is so good is not because of the quality or, you know, we're talking about locations. It's all about the management, right? In the end of the day, 5, 7, 10 years later, you're sure that your property will be same as it was new.
Yeah.
So they keep it well maintained, you know, they make sure that they give it back to you and they, you know, take care about it.
Yeah, that's
not some, you know, some other developers today in the market, we talk about the new ones, right? They come up with a nice plan, nice brochure, they deliver the project, that's it. 2 years later, you don't even see management there.
Yeah, for 6 months, it looks great. Yeah. And then as soon as it's done, then halas, it's done.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing, not only am I a secondary agent, I'm a secondary agent that worked only in an email master community in downtown. So my standards as an agent, when I was looking at a product which was 5, 10, 12 years old was high. And then it wasn't until I got a little bit mature as an agent, a little bit more mature as an agent, I came out into certain developments, maybe in Business Bay and surrounding areas, you realize how good the email management and the quality
compared to the other ones,
How have you seen it in terms of buyer demographic? Because I think from my point of view, as you've seen it come over the years, more and more end users have entered the market, which is great because for me, I've got more and more highly motivated buyers, if that makes sense. When you're dealing with investors, whether they want to buy it or not, they can take it or leave it. Whereas I think what we've seen in my team and what I've seen definitely as a broker over the years is more and more end users coming into the market because the motivation to buy isn't about making the highest ROI, isn't about making the biggest return on equity. One of the biggest motivators in Dubai and the UAE for people to buy right now is just so that they don't get a notice stuck under their door and that they can have a home where they and their partner or them and their family can just live and know that they're not going to get evicted.
Well, in off-plan is slightly different though. We still work 95% with investors. You need to be really good with numbers in off-plan. That's one thing for sure. You need to understand how to calculate the ROI, the rental income, the flipping opportunity, the ROE as well. So when you work in the off-plan segment, you need to understand that, first of all, not all the projects are going up in price, right? All based on different criteria, what we discussed before. Second thing, yes, there are end users who might buy your property, but that's why we're talking about the townhouses, villas, another segment. So there are different segments for different properties.
Yeah.
As well, locations. Central location not always brings you the highest ROI return. So we need to understand that there is a different demographics, as you said, right? We have different communities, we have different type of the buyers, we have different institutions as well who buy the properties as well, right? We have different companies who buy it for their employees and other stuff. So always look into that details.
Yeah, no, and I think that's the key of if you're buying off plan, about making a plan. Like you say, it's not, you don't just have to buy something off plan right on the edge of downtown or in downtown to make the highest return on investment or return on equity. Realistically, the best thing to do is to look at, I don't know, something like Damac Lagoons, get into a standalone villa in Costa Brava on a 50-50 payment plan, and all of a sudden you have a 7-8 million dirham asset, which you've only put, let's say, I don't know, 2.5-3 million dirhams in, and you can flip it, get it gone, and it's
even though the long-term return, right? Again, Dubai is really popular because there is no taxes, right? On our income, whenever we flip the property or we have the stable return, we have zero taxes on it. So getting something, as you said, in the Damac Lagoon, for example, or any other townhouse, or not just 2 or 3, makes a higher return on your investment. Because talking about downtown, what's the average ROI today? 5%, 4.5%?
Yeah, purely
after
because
service charge,
apartments-wise, you're looking at service charge as an average in downtown now, like 23 dirhams per square foot.
Exactly. Investing in a townhouse where you rent is actually high. So what? 3-bedroom townhouse goes today for what? 180 in Arab Emirates Street? When people bought it with me in off-plan for 2.4 million, they're getting 7.5-8% ROI. So you're getting a way more stable return because the family moves in. They're not going to move out anymore, like 3, 4, 5, 7 years. And then they might even potentially buy it off you. So you have a profit from your rent, which pays off your completely property. And then you flipped it and you have your 0% net income, like with all the tax-free.
The change of demographic has really shifted the market, definitely. Right, quick fire, a little bit of quick fire. You want me to give you some questions? You ready?
Sure.
Have a swig of water and then I'll fire at you. Who is buying in the off-plan market right now?
Everyone.
Give me more.
All right. You want details of what? Nationality, top buyers, age.
So
we have a lot of families from UK. We have a lot of families from India. We have Russian, Ukrainian buyers. We have a lot of American, Canadians that are going to Ras Al Khaimah as well now. So we have a widespread French, African, Moroccans. We have everyone.
And people are buying for themselves to live in or purely investment?
I would say it's split between both. I mean,
50-50?
Sometimes I've seen cases where people are putting money into the end user property and they have something on the side for the rental income. So it all depends on the amount of money we're talking about.
Okay, nice. And what's driving people's motivations? Is it lifestyle?
It's Dubai.
Is it return on investment?
Brand new Dubai. I mean, since I've been here since 2012, and I can tell you Dubai has grown a lot. And when we first moved here, it was 2.5 million people. No traffic in the street. Dubai was popular, but not as much. Today, Emirates is the biggest airline in the world. Everyone knows Emirates, right? They all travel to Dubai. They've seen Burj Khalifa, Burj Al Arab. They've seen Royal Atlantis. So everyone has a plan to be in Dubai one day, right? Knowing that you have zero tax on your property income makes it even more unique. So you definitely moving out your money from Europe, US, CIS countries to put them in Dubai where it's stable.
Makes sense. What's hot right now in terms of location, townhouse, villa? What's hot?
Palm Jabali villas.
That's where you're putting people.
We're trying to sell the unique assets, right? So Dubai is about holding assets, like the property in overall. We don't buy property to flip every single year, right? So once people make money in crypto, or we're talking about any other bonds, stocks, gold, they want to put money somewhere where they'll be holding for a long time. So real estate, any place of the world, you put money in real estate and you hold them there for 3, 4, 5 years. They will eventually go up in value. Right?
No, and I think one of the things that I always push my clients towards, in Dubai, everything is copy and paste. If you can find something with some form of individuality, whether it's a floor plan, whether it's a layout, whether it's a townhouse, villa, location, individuality is key. And Palm Jabal Ali is...
I think it's all about location.
Yeah, massively.
Once you have the right asset in the right location, definitely have a good profit.
Yeah, okay. And is there any more upcoming projects that you're excited about that maybe people wouldn't know about so much?
Look, everyone's waiting for the townhouses. I mean, we all know that townhouses are the highest demand in Dubai. And getting one off plan is almost impossible. So Emar is going to launch a townhouse in Grand Polo, we have the Mac Islands coming up. So there are quite a lot of few communities coming.
Yeah. Would you say that developers are now offering better deals or stronger deals than they were?
Again, we're going back to amount of developers in the market. So all the small developers are trying to come up with unique amenities, unique payment plans, something we can put not as much of your personal asset.
Yeah.
The big developers, they don't play with the payment plans. They go with the unique location, they go with the bigger sizes, with the more unique water view or seafront.
Yeah. Okay. So talk to me. If I give you a scenario for a budget of 2 million dirhams, where does a buyer get more for their money, off plan or ready market right now? What do you think?
Again, going to the details. He wants a stable return rent or he wants to flip it, right? If you're talking about the potential flipping in the future, go for townhouse.
Yeah.
Get anything off plan from townhouses, the Mac, Imar, anything what's available in the market, you'll definitely make 30 to 40% capital appreciation.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the stable return, go to the second market. I mean, there's a lot of projects which will be handed over this year, next year. Top locations. We're talking about Maritime City, Shoba Heartland. Even though Business Bay gives you a good return, but you need to select a nice unit.
Yeah. I think that's the key. Especially if you're going towards a smaller developer, you've got to look at some form of reputation. What have they handed over, or what have they at least got under construction that's looking like it's going to be half decent? Because look, Dubai, we know how Dubai works. It attracts absolutely everyone and anyone. So you still got to be careful as to what you're putting your money in. Because as we see day in, day out, there's still people making bad decisions out there.
Well, unfortunately, yes. But you see, all those bad decisions are led by unprofessional agents.
Yeah.
So if you're an off-plan buyer, thanks God today the buyers are well more educated than they used to be 5 years back.
Yeah.
They don't trust anyone. But again, Dubai is a place where you can trust the developers because they have an escrow account. So it's quite safe. But you still need to do your own calculation and you need to listen.
Yeah.
We talk about 160,000 agents up and down in the Dubai market. We have a lot of people on the street who are selling properties, but it does make sense that they're telling you sometimes, with those 20-30% ROIs, which never impossible.
Yeah, that's one of the. My next question was going to say, what are the main risks to look out for?
Yeah.
And I think the main risk to look out for is quite simply, if your broker says something you think is too good to be true, it probably bloody is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quite simply.
Yeah.
And what are the biggest challenges you're facing in the off-plan market right now?
Again, competition is big. I mean, amount of agencies open up for the last 2 years. We're talking about 7,000 agencies. So everyone is sharing the same project. So it's about getting your word out to your clients.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest powerful tool to sell is the referral clients.
Yeah.
Once you get your first deal done, second deal done, you get referred to your friends, colleagues, and rest. So this is where you close good deals. But amount of agents are working to the same client today are 20 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of new agents coming in, or new clients, what would you say on both sides are the most common mistakes that you're seeing in the market at the minute?
Agents, for sure, not understanding the second market.
Yeah.
So they're not good agents who can sell off-plan without knowing what's happening in the
because they're
area.
not understanding what it's actually going to come to.
Yeah. So know the second market, understand the areas, because we still sell location at the end of the day, and look into the developer, know the history, what they're actually coming up with. And for the clients as well, I do think the best is to really understand and evaluate your opportunities, because you never buy property if you don't have the full amount.
Yeah.
For example, there are a lot of investors who put 30% thinking they can flip in the handover, paying 70% or somewhere else. In case they don't have those money and the property is not moving because it's a bad unit, doesn't have a good view, or it's overpriced, you might have unit, it will be lost, it will be taken away from you if you don't pay in time. So you need to be really careful by investing.
Yeah, no, I think so. And that's the thing with Dubai as well. I think people in the past have very, very heavily leveraged themselves.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably one of the nice things with the Western world coming in. I think people look at things with a little bit more of an even keel and a little bit more of a sensible approach to investing and to buying themselves, because that's one of the things that scared me most when I came to Dubai. People buying with a mortgage, getting the final offer letter. As soon as they got the final offer letter, go to the bank next door, get the approval for their down payment. They've got the approval for the down payment, and then hey presto, you have 100% leverage yourself on a 2-bedroom apartment in the middle of downtown, which is just scary, which is crazy coming from the UK market. But that's something that I think Dubai is slowly and surely maturing, and people are understanding, like, okay, that's a little bit, I'm overexposing myself a little bit here. So yeah, developers or agents, who's got the upper hand right now?
Well, it's definitely the agents market at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much competition between the developers. They're offering bigger commission, they're offering better projects, discounts, prices.
If you've got yourself a good buyer, you hold the cards, right?
Absolutely. If you have a client who's actually listening to you and you're honest and you share the story with them, they'll definitely listen to you what developer you pitch.
Yeah.
Because, again, there are money to be made everywhere, in the right projects, in the right units, in the right opportunities.
Yeah. Okay. And what is your best advice for a first-time investor? A little fresh-faced 26-year-old lad, 25-year-old lad, just come over from the UK. He's a first-time investor. He's got some cash. What's your advice for him?
Yeah, well, again, understanding budget, understanding what you can afford, and looking into the reality. Understanding the second and off-plan market in terms of price, what you can get for the money.
Yeah.
Because the difference between the off-plan is quite big now.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about the same area, say downtown. You can get an off-plan for 3 million for one bedroom, and then you can get a 2-bedroom in the second market in the same area.
Yeah.
So you need to really understand what your money is worth in Dubai, right? And then how far can you go with that? What's your main plan? Because we always sell by 2 things. First is the exit plan. What are you going to do with this property, right? And then the second thing, we're trying to find a development which will match your plan, right? So we can always understand your needs. How quickly do you want to flip your property? Do you want to rent it out? Do you want to move in yourself and wait until the property grows until you live in it? So, yeah.
I think that the biggest thing with any off-plan decision that you're going to make is, like you say, having the foresight to understand in this community right now, if it was ready, where does it sit? How does it look? What would it look like? And that will give you a very, very good indication very quickly if you're underpaying or overpaying. And obviously that will give you a good gear to actually make the decision. But I think a lot of people just don't have that foresight. They don't look far enough in the future.
One of the examples, for example, you know about the town square, for sure, Sharma. So back in 2018, 2019, when the property was only under development, a lot of people could buy property there for nothing. Like studio, 400,000.
Cheap as anything.
1 bedroom, 650.
Yeah.
A lot of agents didn't believe in the project. But knowing that Nashama is part of Imar Group, it's quite a great community. It's a good place to live in for kids, for families. 1 bedroom now is worth over $1 million.
Yeah, people just didn't have the foresight. They just saw the location and they just wrote it off.
And all those people with a small amount of cash could actually buy property there. They double the money so far. So we always look into location, how to be developed. You know, jumping in Marina today is not the best decision, I think, right? The prices are so high. The rent is not so good. So we're talking about, yes, a unique asset, something where you can keep as a boutique, but it doesn't give you a good return. So go into the location which are not developed yet. The metro is coming there, perfect. The road's coming there, Palm Jubilee, it's nothing there yet. In 2030, 2045, it'll be absolutely a gorgeous
infrastructure is the one. If you're looking for growth, if you're looking for some foresight on your unit and what it's going to be, and you want growth, whether it's a ready project now or whether it's an off-plan project, look at the infrastructure that's due to come, look at the infrastructure that could potentially come, and then you can make your gamble and your risks based on that. Because if you can buy into somewhere where the infrastructure is going to come, that's where your capital appreciation is, that's where your growth is, essentially. Right, so that wraps up Deal Corner for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the face-off between off-plan and secondary that it was. Make sure to follow Luxury Properties Hub on all of our social media pages so that you get more expert takes on the market.